Who was the highest earning StarCraft 2 player in 2021? What was the game of the year? And more importantly, if you throw a grape into the air, catch it, take it out of your mouth, throw it again, catch it again, repeat that trick 162 times, is that sad or really cool? For the answer to all of these questions, stay tuned to today's episode of StarCraft Today.
StarCraft Today. Your favorite StarCraft news show.
As this is the final StarCraft Today episode of 2021, I thought it would be cool to have a quick overview of what happened in 2021 again. Starting with MaxPax, the breakout player of the year for me. He started the year as a guy that everyone thought of as someone that could take games of the top players, and perhaps someone that was good in PvP as well. However, when it came to the big tournaments, he never really performed. When it came to the big series, the top guys did usually beat him as well and barely ever dropped the map. That really did change this year. He now is one of the top 5, top 6 players in Europe. He's constantly putting on big performances, winning EPT Cups, performing well in the ESL DreamHack Masters tournaments, and just overall showing that he's a versatile player. He's someone that can adapt to the situations. He likes to have momentum on his side, but he's also capable of playing late games at this point, and he's getting more and more comfortable in these longer games. His multitasking has gotten very good, and he's one of the only people that I've ever seen make a 300 Aligelok jump within a year. 300 rating points within a year is extremely difficult. That's basically like going from rank 35 all the way up to the top 10, which is where MaxPax currently is sitting on rank 9 on Aligelok. Extremely impressive year, and no doubt in my mind that he was the breakout of 2021. Although Trap wasn't the player that made the most money this year out of prize money, that was Raynor of course after winning Intel Extreme Masters Katowice and a season finals, I do believe that Trap had the most successful year out of anyone. He won 5 Premier tournaments, which is a really big deal, and he performed really well in all tournaments across the year except for one tournament, and that was Intel Extreme Masters. You can say that if you don't perform at the World Championships, that you really aren't that successful, but with as many tournaments that Trap won, and that many tournaments where he just performed extremely well, getting either second place or getting that top 4, I really do believe that he was the most successful player in 2021. We also had loads of great games in 2021, but there was one game that really stood out, and that was Clem vs Showtime played on Glittering Ashes. A game with a base trade that didn't even make sense. After watching it back twice, I still don't quite understand what happened in this game. Ending with Clem having to take out an entire Protoss base with a mere 2 medevacs and 4 Marines. Showtime desperately trying to hold on with 2 Stalkers and almost managing to do it. It honestly is probably the craziest game that I've seen in the last decade, as that's about how long I've been playing and watching StarCraft 2. This game absolutely deserves to be called the game of the year. 2012 was the year of Broodlord Infestor. 2015 was the year of the Swarm Host. And 2021 was the year of the Void Rays. We saw double Stargate Void Ray make a big return into competitive play, and lots of Zergs got real tired of the Void Ray. So if there's one unit that this year does belong to, I would say it has to be the Void Ray. And there's no other unit that had as big an impact on the meta game this year as the Void Ray, whether it was proxied against Terran, or with 2 Stargates against Zerg, or even as a defensive tool in PvP, or as an aggressive tool in PvP, the Void Ray reigned absolutely supreme, not only in the skies, but also in tournaments. Congratulations, Void Ray, you've made it big. We also had some sick games in the past week though, as we had the ESL Open Cup 103 starting on the Sunday in Korea. Zest won the first cup of the 3, beating Solar 3-0 in the finals. Big win there for Zest, who just keeps winning cup after cup after cup. Moving on to Europe, we had MaxPax taking another win against Showtime in the finals. Showtime did get a lot of EPT points, tying himself up with Lambo for the ESL Katowice standing, which means that right now they're completely tied. Lambo still technically ahead of him because he has more EPT global points, which for whatever reason are weighed more heavily when deciding who gets the group stage spot. And moving on to America, there we saw both Lambo and Showtime try to get the dub, but both players got knocked out in the semifinals. Australia took out Lambo 3-0, and Showtime lost to Zest 3-1. In the finals, Zest also was a little bit too strong for Australia, and Zest took his second cup of the weekend, giving himself another double. This week's clip of the week is Rotterdam's Oracles doing some freaking magic.
Sexiest defense in the history of defenses. Maybe ever! I don't make oracles often, but if I do, they are goated oracles.
Absolutely beautiful stasis wards there. That's going to be it for this episode of StarCraft Today, the final episode of StarCraft Today of this year. But of course, before I tell you what I think of someone catching a grape 162 times consecutively in his mouth. I think that's really cool. If you practice something that much and then you succeed 162 times in a row, that is just cool. And if you don't think so, you're an idiot. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you all next year for more episode of StarCraft Today and more StarCraft 2 in general. Bye bye.